session, I'm going to explain you about arrays. If we want to store more than one element, then we have to go for an array. Array is nothing but a group of elements. All the elements should belongs to a similar data type. We cannot mix up the data types, like we cannot group an integer, strings, like that. So we have to group a similar data type elements. That is nothing but an array. Array is nothing but a group collection of similar data types, and these arrays are fixed in size. We cannot increase at a runtime, and always the index starts from a 0. So see here, I am storing this 30, 60, 80, 10, 20, 50 as an array. The index starts from a 0. So 30 was stored in a 0th position and 60 element was stored in first position. Like that, the index was starts from a 0. If you want to find out the length of an array, so the number of elements is nothing but a size or length of an array. So what is the length of an array here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The length of an array is 6. So always the index starts from a 0. You have to be careful. Always the arrays starts with an index 0. Array is nothing but a group of elements which belongs to similar data type. Homogeneous means same data type. Arrays cannot accommodate heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means similar, different kinds of data types. It cannot accommodate heterogeneous elements. It can accommodate only similar data types, homogeneous. There is a group of homogeneous data type. So there are, we can represent the arrays in the single dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, like that we can represent. Now let us see how to declare a single dimension array. So this is the way how we have to declare a single dimensional array. First we have to declare a data type, then the array variable name and the square brackets. Always the square brackets denotes it is an array. Like this we can declare, or else we can declare like this also. After the data type we can give a square bracket and we can initialize it to a variable. So this is the way how we can declare an array. And now let us see how to declare and initialize this array. So this is the first step. There are two ways. This is the first way and this is the second way. So int a equal to new int of 5 means we are creating an array with 5, means we can accommodate up to 5 elements. More than that we cannot accommodate. So the size here is fixed. The 5 is a fixed. So here a of 0 means the first I am storing the 30 in a 0 index, and I am storing a 20 in a first index, and I am storing a 40 in the second index. This is the way how to initialize, how to declare and how to initialize a single dimension array. Or else we can do directly like this, int a equal 30, 20 and 10. This is the way we can declare also. Here no need of giving a size here. We can declare like this, int a equal to 30, 20 and 10. Let us see this with an example. So I am taking a new package, I'll store all the array programs in this array package. New class, array example. So I told you int square brackets denotes an array. This is the way how we have to declare an array. declare and initialize. Now how to call this, how to print this array? We cannot print like, see, normal integer. If I print a here, what it will give? Some random value will be printed. Let's see here, some random value printed. I want to print 10, 20 and 30, means accessing. So now we have seen, till now we know how to declare an array, how to initialize an array. Now the next step we have to know is how to access the arrays. To access the arrays we need a for loop. For int, I told you that index starts from 0, so compulsory the I value should starts with a 0 and I less than 3. Here suppose 4, I plus plus. So now here I have to print, which value I have to print now? A of 0, A of 1, A of 2. So like this I have to print. So here I am writing A of I. Initially what is the I value here? 0. After incrementing the I value become 1, 2. So I have to print like this. Now run the program. So here have you seen that? I got an exception. Array index out of bounds for length 3. 0, 1, 2. Now here what is the condition I am writing? I less than 4. So initially what will happen if I value is 0, right? A of 0 will be printed in the first iteration. Next what it will do? A of 1 will be printed. Fine. Next, in the next iteration, after I was becoming 2. So what will be the output here? A of 2 will be printed. A of 2. What is the value of A of 0 here? 10. What is the value of A of 1 here? 20. What is the value of A of 2 here? 30. Right. Now I plus plus. I value is 3. 3 is less than 4, right? Condition was true. It will enter into the loop. A of 3 here I am trying to access. Is there any value in A of 3? Is there any value? No, right? That's why we are getting a runtime error saying that index out of bound exception. There is no value at a 3. So that's why we are getting this exception. What to do now? How we will know the length of an array? How can we know that? By seeing here 3, we can change here like a 3. But what in the case of runtime error? We don't know how many values will be in an array, right? Sometimes it may be 3, sometimes we may get 2 like that, right? So what we have to do is, here we have a method called length to find out the length of an array. So here a dot length. So length is a method to calculate the length of an array. Now what is the length of an array here? 3. A dot length means 3. So now run the program. What is the output here? 10, 20, 30. Did I get any error here? No, right? So to calculate the length of an array, we have a method called length. We have to call this length method on this a variable name. A dot length means it will give the length of an array called A. Clear? Now I am taking another array B equal to, see here I am trying to print 30, 40, 50 and 60. So now here I am accessing a B array and I am trying to print the B values. Can you tell me what is the output? 30, 40, 50 and 60. What is the length here? What is the B dot length? Means length of an array named B. What is the length? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the length. But the index starts with a 0, right? Remember that. B of 0 means 30. B of 1, 40. B of 2, 50. B of 3, 60 we will get. So run this. 30, 40 and 50, 60. Always the array starts with a 0 index. Length dimension arrays. Now we will go for a multi-dimension arrays. Multi-dimension arrays are nothing but array of array. We can write double dimension arrays, we can go for 3D, we can go for 4D, like that we can write any dimensions we want. If you want to write a two-dimensional arrays, just we have to append another square bracket. A pair of square, we have to append a pair of square brackets like this. If you want to write a 3 dimensions, again what you have to do, you have to append another pair of square brackets. Like that we have to declare the dimensions. Now I'm using here two pairs of square brackets, means this is a two-dimensional array. In the previous session we have seen arrays with a single pair of square brackets, means this is a single dimension array. Now we are learning about the two-dimensional arrays, two pair of square brackets. Here two-dimensional array means, see here, array of array. I am saying like array of array. Here each array is holding a reference of another array. This is one array, this is one array, and this is one, and these also an arrays. Array of array. And A of 0 is one array, A of 1 is one array, and A of 2 is another array. This A of 0 is holding this array reference, and A of 1 is holding the reference of this array, like this. So multi-dimensional arrays are arrays of arrays. Let us see how to initialize and how to declare all these things. It's the same way we did in a single dimensional array. Here also we can write, we can declare like this, or before the variable name we can give the square brackets, and like this we can declare in any number of ways. And initializing, how to initialize the two-dimensional arrays. This is the first way we have to initialize. Int a equal to new int of two square brackets. I am taking here an integer array, so that's why I am taking int. If you want to declare a byte, means you have to take here new byte. If you are going for a character array, means you have to write here new char, like that. Which type of array you want, that you have to write that respective data type here. Now I am talking about the integers, so I took int of 3. So means my size of an array is 3. So 3, 0, 1, 2. I told you that index starts from a 0, 1, 2. Again I have to initialize this A of 0, A of 1 and A of 2. So again A of 0 equal to new int of 3. Again this 0. This is a sub array. This is a main array and this is a sub array. 20, 30 and 10. I'm initializing a 20, 30, 10 to a 0, like this. A of 0 equal to new int of 3, and for this A of 1 array I am initializing this array with the 2 elements. I want to store 2 elements in the A of 1, and for this A of 2 I want to store up to 2 elements. This is the way how I initialize it. Now declare the array. Now I am going to initialize the values for this array. So have to call this, A of 0, 0. This I want to call the square. So I have to call this square. What is the reference? How to use means, this is A of, this index is 0 and this index is 0. So the value A of 0, 0 equal to 20. So I am storing this 20 value in this box, A of 0, 0. And I want to store the value in this box. So A of 0, 1 equal to 30. And for the next, A of 0, 2, 10. Like that. I want to store the values in the first array also. A of 1, A of 1, 0, this is 50, A of 1, 1, this is, I'm storing the 60 value. Now I want to store the values into a A of 2 array. So I want to store the value in A of 2, 0 as 70, A of 2, 1 as 80. Here you have to remember that for each array the index again starts from the 0. This is one sub array, this is one sub array, and this is one sub array. We have 3 sub arrays. Like this you can write a 3 dimensions, 4 dimensions, whatever the dimension you want you can write. So let us see how to before going to this, that is another way to declare and initialize these arrays. How means simply you can take like this. In 2 dimension I want to represent. So here 2 curly braces. One is for an outer array and one is for an inner array. So here I want to store 10. First value, what is that first value here? 20, 30 and 10. So this is the first subarray. And the next subarray consists of 2 elements, 50 and 60. And then 70, 80. Like this, I can, instead of writing this entire thing, I can simply write in a single statement like this. So first out curly braces for the outer array, and in sub arrays I have 3 sub arrays. Here no need to mention the size. Let us see this with an example. See here how to print a 2-dimensional array. So here I am taking a 2-dimensional array of integer data types with the name A. So how many subarrays I have? 1, 2, 3 and 4. Total I have 4 sub elements. So first I want to iterate these. To print the arrays compulsory we have to go for an iteration. For that we have to use for loops. Here how many dimensions we have? We have 2 dimensions, right? So for that I am taking 2 for loops. One is for iterating the first loop and second inner loop. Inner loop means writing a loop inside another loop is called inner loop. So I am taking another inner loop for printing the sub arrays. So for that I have taken 2 arrays. I equal to 0, I less than means I represents for these and j for this array subarray and this subarray and this subarray. So, okay, like that I have written the program. So first let me explain you. I value is 0, I less than a dot length. What is the length of an a here? 1, 2, 3. So a dot length means will have length as 3. So 0 is less than 3. It will go into the loop. For j equal to 0, j less than a of I dot length. What is here? A of I, a of 0. What is the length of a of 0 here? A of 0 here. 1, 2, 3. So the length of a of 0 is 1, 2, 3. Means here 3. 0 is less than 3. Condition true. It will enter into the loop and it will print a of I, j. What is the I value here now? 0. What is the j value here now? 0. A of 0, 0. What is the value stored in a of 0, 0 here? Here it is 20. But in our program, a of 0, 0. What is the value here? 10. So first 10 will be printed here. Clear? explain you a little bit more clearly. So here I am taking I value, j value and a of I dot length. Okay, and a dot length, I'm taking it as just a dot length, and I'm taking here a of I and j for your understanding. So see here. So initially what is the value of I here? 0. So 0. What is the a dot length? 1. This is one subarray. 2, 3, 4. So here a of a dot length is 4. Now it will come here 0 less than 4. Condition was true. So it will enter into the loop. So what is the value of j now here? J is, let me write the j value here. So here j value is 0. Now a of I dot length. A of I dot length means what is the I value? A of 0 dot length. A of 0 is the first subarray, right? What is the length of A of 0 here? Only 2. 2. So now here j equal j. What is the value of j? 0 less than 2. Condition was true. It will enter into the loop and it will print A of ij. So A of ij means A of 0, 0. What is the A of 0, 0 here? 10. So output, in the output we will get 10. Next, j value what? Incremented. Here the j value, again the loop from here it will goes to here. First inner loop should be completed, then only it will go to the outer loop. So from here to here j plus plus, j value will become 1. J was become here 1. So again 1 is less than 2. 1 is less than 2. Condition true. So again it will enter into the loop. Now which value will be printed here? A of 1, 0. What is the I value here? Still it is 0. 0, 1. So what is the value of 0, 1 here? This is the first 0, 1. So what is the value here? 20. So now output will be 20 will be printed here. And the output we will get a 20. Again it will increment the j value. So now what is the j value here? Now the j value becomes 2. 2 is less than 2. Condition failed. 2 is not less than 2. Condition failed. It will come out of the for loop and it will go to the outer loop. Now the I will be incremented. What is the I value now? 1. Is 1 less than 4? Condition true. Means we came to the, now here we completed this iteration. Now we are moving to the next array. A of 1. So A of 1. Yes. Now what is the j value here? Again the j starts from 0. Again the j value starts from 0. Here because we are initializing again j as 0. Now what is the A of I dot length? A of 1 dot length. This is A of 1 array. This is A of 2 array. And this is A of 3 array. A of 2 means 0. 1, 2, 3. So 3. Is 0 less than 3? Yes, true. it will enter into the loop and it will print a of ij. What is the value of ij? I is 0. What is the value of j here now? J is, sorry, what is the value of I? 1. What is the value of j here? 0. So it will print 1 0, means first array 0th element. This is the first array, and what is the 0th element in the first array? It is 30. Here 30 will be printed. Next the j value will be incremented. The j value becomes now again 1. Like this it will iterate this second array, third array, and finally the output will be so let us see the output now. So it will print it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. This is the way how we have to print the two-dimensional arrays. This is the way how we have to iterate. Using the two-dimensional arrays, in interviewers may ask you to print different patterns like stars, everything. So let us see that example, how to print the patterns. If you want to print a pattern like this, see, we have a stars, that is right. So first there should be a relation between this. First we have to find out the relation between the columns and the rows. So I'll show you this in the tabular form. So this is the pattern we got, right? This is a pattern. Just I'm showing in you a tabular form for your understanding. So we have to take these rows as I, and we are considering this columns as j value. So here I have taken two variables. So rows, I am identifying the rows with an I value, and I am identifying the columns with a variable j. Now I have to find out the relation between these rows and the columns. So let us see the pattern here, how it was looking. So in the first row I have only one star, and the second row I am having two stars, means two columns. It was filled only two columns. So three columns got filled with the stars. If the row is 4, means the 4 columns were filled. Coming to the fifth row, 5 columns were filled with stars, means the I value and the j value relation is the j is less than or equal to I. Till it was equal to I, it was printing, means if it is I value is at 2, means the j means the number of columns were 2. We have to fill the stars up to 2 columns. If the I value is 3, means we have to fill 3 columns with stars. So like that we should get some relation between the columns and the rows. So I'll explain you this with a program. See here. First I'm starting with a 1 value. Row 1. You can take any number. I'm starting with a 1. How many rows are there here? 7 rows are there. So the value should be I less than or equal to 7 and I plus plus I'm taking. And the next coming to the columns. So how many columns are there here? 7 columns are there. But how many stars I have to print? Should I print 7 stars in the first column? No, right? So what is the value of the row? In the first row I have to print only 1 star. In the second row I have to print only 2 stars. In the third 3 stars are there, like this. So the j should be less than or equal to I. Now coming into the for loop, inside the loop I have to print star. I should not print I value or j value. Here what I have to print? I have to print only this stars. So I'm printing the character star here. And one more thing, here I should not use print ln statement. Println means it will print the star and it will go into a new line. I should not go into a new, I don't need a new line. So after finishing the entire row, I have to go to a new column. Means first row should be iterated, then only here I am printing the second line. So first this row will be printed, then it will go to the new line and second row will be printed. After that third row will be printed, fourth row, like that this will be printed. So let us run the program and see the output. So see here, this is the pattern we got. If suppose I want to print numbers instead of this star, what will happen? If I give a I value, if I print I value, what is the pattern here? Now 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, like this it will be printed. See here, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, like this the pattern will come. Okay. Suppose if I print a J value, what will happen? See here, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like this. This is the way how we have to do the pattern.